For the first time in the U.S., a federal trial is happening over a state's ban on gender-confirming care. The ban in Arkansas prohibits doctors from providing hormone treatment, puberty blockers, or surgery to anyone under 18 years old. Doctors also cannot refer patients elsewhere. If they violate the law, they risk losing their license or being sued. Jessica Levinson joins me now. She is a professor at Loyola Law School and a CBS News legal contributor. Jessica, it's good to have you back. Let's start with the families that are in this case. What are they arguing?
They're arguing that this is unconstitutional, that it discriminates against transgender youth, that it harms the parents in their ability to make medical decisions for minors, and also that it actually harms the First Amendment rights of doctors, because part of this law says doctors, not only can you not perform these particular types of procedures or provide this care, you also can't refer away to another doctor or another clinic. So those are basically the three buckets of claims here.
So those are three pretty strong claims. What is the state's position?
So the state's position is we can protect children and we can make regulations when it comes to medical care, that we make regulations about things like health, safety, and welfare, these broad police powers that states have all the time. And this is just one part of that. The state says this is not a total ban ever on trying to obtain this type of care. It's just saying wait until you're 18.
Is there a standard test for where personal rights end or parental and child rights end and the state's authority begins that we should look to for in this case?
So I will say I think that is not well defined when it comes to these particular cases. And that's why I thought it was so right when you introduced this and you said it's landmark, it's the first of its kind. We have not seen any other federal court tackle this issue of another state that tries to ban gender-confirming care. Certainly, there have been other federal courts that have tackled this at the initial stages. But when it comes to, I think, all of those issues, is it unconstitutional discrimination? Does it interfere with parents and their ability to direct medical care for their children? And then separately, of course, that issue of First Amendment when it comes to the doctors. A lot of that will be tested in this particular case.
And a federal judge blocked a similar law in Alabama, and a Texas judge blocked that state's efforts to investigate gender-confirming care for minors as child abuse. So what are those? So what does this say about basically, you mentioned this has national implications. If this ruling is made, do you think it will affect those other states? Or will every state, because there's obviously a political part of this as well, every state will go at this in a different fashion?
It's such an important question. And I think the answer is we're probably going to have a patchwork of decisions for a while. So as you mentioned, that Texas law is a little bit different. The Alabama law is a lot more similar. But that, again, is in the initial phases. As I understand it, the judge basically said, let's stop it. But the case can still proceed after that initial pause. And so I think we're going to see, as more conservative states try and pass these laws, we'll see more judicial decisions. At a certain point, I suspect, the Supreme Court is going to have to weigh in, particularly if there are split decisions on the issue of what is constitutional. That's the Supreme Court's job. They're supposed to step in and say, here's the national standard. This is what the Constitution protects, or this is what it does not protect.
And Jessica, I'm going to launch a last question, which might be too complicated. But there's been a big debate about public school teachers getting between parents and their children on a number of issues and in a number of states. And it's basically the debate is, should the state come between a parent and their child? So in the school context, there are many people who have said that the parents and children should not have a teacher come in between them. How is that the same or different than this debate here, which is a group of parents saying the state should not come between us and our children? Is that apples and oranges, or is it just different kinds of apples?
It's all produce, but maybe it is apples and oranges. I wish we could discuss this in a full class. And I think the answer is that there are basically different rules when it comes to a public school setting than when it comes to directing medical care. But broadly speaking, it's kind of the same question, right? How much does the state government get to say to parents, no, you can't, or you must do it this way? And so in that way, yes, it's the same general issue of how much state involvement do we have in the rearing of our children. In that case, We do have some case law, but again, it is very context specific. So public schooling, different paradigm, different case law than medical treatment.
Important, context specific. Thank you so much, Jessica. We'll sign up for that class in the spring semester. Thanks for being with us.